Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we will create Salesforce Developer AI agent using Claude Code. If you want to check out different agents, different Salesforce agents, please feel free to check out the playlist. And if you wanted to check out how to configure Claude Code in your VS Code or any kind of IDE, please feel free to check out the episode number 1. There have put like step-by-step process of how to configure the Claude Code. Today I'll just go ahead and create Salesforce Developer AI agent using Claude Code. /agents, click on new agent and click on project and the option number 1 because we are going to create this agent locally within this project. Here there are two steps that you can give the instructions for the agent, like how the agent should be. I'll just go with the option number 1, generate with Claude Code. So here you need to give the set of instructions for the Claude code to understand what this agent needs to do and what kind of rules and or guardrails that this agent should have. So I'm gonna just copy paste this. I'll make sure this will be available for you guys on the companion blog so that you can copy paste and follow along. So I've copy pasted all agent description, like what this agent should do. I'm just clicking enter. Now Claude is going to create agent based upon the description which I've given. It's a pretty much basic description where you should be using Salesforce DXMCP and you should be good at creating Apex, LWC. We should follow the Salesforce best practices, basic Salesforce developer things. Now let's wait for some time and see how it is going to create the agent configuration. Now, so once that is done, you'll be getting into the another screen where you'll be asked to select the list of tools. Here I'm going to choose the default option because I want agent should be able to read, write, and use the MCP tools. I'll just go with the default option. So in this page, you will be prompted to select different models. I'll choose the Sonnet. And again, I don't have a preference for the specific color for the agent. I'll just go ahead and then choose the automatic color. And I'm just going to say create. Perfect. Now agent is created. Now what I will do is I'll just terminate the session. I'll just open the new session. And I'll see whether agent is created or not. Perfect, agent is created. So other agent is admin agent, which we created in the previous sessions. So our agent is created, which is good. And I'm just perfect. Now agent is created, ready to work. Now let's keep the agent to action. Now we'll just give a simple task like usual Salesforce developer task. Let me so these prompts will be available for you to copy and paste. Now I'm going to say agent, so you can either choose the agent directly or you can just give the prompt so that agent is intelligent enough to identify which agent it should use for this particular task, and then it will just invoke the Salesforce Developer Pro agent for this. For now I'm just invoking it specifically and see how it goes. So this is the task that I'm giving for the developer agent. It's like just create a simple account, a trigger on the account for the certain conditions, and then do proper bulkifications as well as error handling, right? So this is the instructions that I've given to the agent as a simple task. Before executing this, I just want to show you how the agent configuration is done. So this is the agent configuration. If you want to change the agent name, you can just change the name over here so that when you do a command /agents, this agent name, whatever you give here, that agent name will be popping up over there. So you can see all the list of do's and don'ts for this particular agent. So if your project evolves, if you have certain rules and guardrails that you want this agent to be taken care of, you can just come over here and then give the list of instructions to the agent, so that whenever this agent is picked up, it will just follow the set of rules that is defined over here. So as we're creating a basic agent, this should be more than enough. Let's go ahead and then execute this command. My expectation is that it should create a trigger handler, as well as I think it will create other test class as well. In my previous test, it just created the test class as well. Let's see how it is going to work. Perfect. Agent is in action. Our agent is invoked. Great. Now let's see what it's going to do. I think it's doing some analysis and it's trying to understand my project structure. And I think it'll check whether there is an existing trigger. If so, it'll just create just update the existing trigger. So it's asking for it analyze if there is an existing component and update accordingly without impacting the previous functionalities. Now it is going to create a couple of files. I can see that, which is expected. Great. It just created account trigger. Great. Again, this is a pretty basic agent, right? It can do mistakes, and you can even see a lot of improvisations after it is generated. But yeah, it's known. So it's always review, refine, and then deploy, right? So it generates something. You can just review it. If you feel that it can be done in a better way, just let agent know and keep updating your configuration file. Let's say you have some sort of coding standards within your org. You can let the agent know by putting it in the instructions, so that it will follow that set of instructions, right? Great. As expected, it started creating a test class, which is good. Let's see. Go ahead and then let it create. Now it started creating the test class. Trigger and handler is done. It's going to create. Okay, perfect. Now it has created 3 set of files: trigger, handler as a test class, which is awesome. And the condition which I've given is this. Looks like it's considered all the conditions which I wanted to be in it. Now let's deploy it. Deploy to org. So I'm using a Salesforce DX and now it'll kick off, and then it'll start deploying using Salesforce DX and then it'll deploy to the org. The beauty of Salesforce DX is it start using your Salesforce CLI commands, right? And it does all the actions, and it knows the right commands that it needs to execute for the specific task. So it rightly invoked Salesforce DX which is good. It's trying to deploy now. Let's see. Again, I just love the to-do steps of Claude Code. It says it has an action plan to deploy, and it also has a step to verify the deployment as well, right? It's not just deploying it off, it is also just verifying it. Now let's go ahead and then see what it has written. Cool. Okay, this is the trigger. It has done a pretty decent job at first go, but yeah, again, as I mentioned previously, you can still have a lot of optimizations to it. It has picked up like simple trigger framework by taking the handler, which is okay, and then it started using this handler. Okay. Okay, I can see some hard-coded values here, but again, as I said previously, it can be optimized, and you can tell Claude Code if your organization is using some sort of standards where you can maintain all the constants in some different set of files like constants, or else if you wanted to configure it using custom labels or custom metadata, custom settings, so you can still optimize it according to your needs. So yeah, it's a pretty good at one go, so you can keep on refine it based upon your requirements. Now this looks good to me for the first go. Now let's see how the trigger is looking like. Trigger also looks okay, handler looks okay, test class okay. It has written all these scenarios. On a high level it looks good to me, and of course you can just optimize it. Like now we can just say agent to use test setup, so that I know it can create all the test data at one place, like test factory. So all those kind of optimizations at one go, I could say this is good enough to just go with. I'll just go ahead and see whether it is really deployed or not. Yeah, it's there again. So we are not going to test the functionality in this video. So our aim is to create a basic agents and to get started with simple basic agents to do a simple repetitive task. You can make it better by giving context to it and then optimize it according to your needs. So I see that it's created a couple of classes and then it's deployed, which is good. So yeah, so now we'll just go with the second scenario. Now we are going to create a simple LWC using this agent. Let's see how it is going to perform. It's a pretty basic LWC, which is a contact list. On an account, what are the related contacts, and then displayed in a specific format. I know there is a related list and all this stuff, but the idea here is to see how the agent is going to perform with different instructions or different set of metadata and so on. This is a simple use case, but on real-time scenario you can just use different complex LWCs to create different functionalities based upon the requirement. Perfect. I could see it started creating some classes, some LWCs. Let's see. The agent is in action. Perfect. I can see that it started creating the test class as well, which is good. It's just doing some changes on JS file. It created Apex controller test class. Now it's dealing with different scenarios in LWC. Let's wait for some time. During my initial test for the same prompt, I did create LWC, but there are some issues. Then I said I gave it more context that I'm going to use this particular LWC on account. Then the way it started fetching the current account ID is changed, and it fixed by itself. Now let's see what it's going to do in this run. Yeah, now it's working and optimizing on the controller. Good. I can see that it created a bunch of files. One is like LWC controller as well as test class as well, which is good. Now let's try to deploy to Arc, and then we'll have a glance at what it is generated after that. Maybe we'll yeah. It's trying to deploy using Salesforce DXMCP, which is good. That is what the expectation is. So I've given this instruction in the agent configuration, so it is going to use that any kind of deployments, and I think we have 9 tool sets in Salesforce DXMCP. They're using it. Cool. They deployed successfully. Now let's look at them. Yeah, I can see the HTML. Okay. JS. Yeah, on high level it looks good. I'm pretty much interested in metadata file. I just want to check the targets. Yeah, the record page. Cool. So I did the account record page and then try to keep this component on it, and then try and see how it's going to work. As I said previously, initially in my test runs, there are some issues. On the next prompt, it fixed by itself. Today we are not going to test it. You can test it once you configure this and try to run these steps. But yeah, it worked for me and a couple of prompts after fixing it. Cool. Now we are going to use another test. So this is a scenario where you might have existing classes and you wanted to write some test coverage for it, right? Now I just wanted to replicate the same scenario. We have seen that it is already created, contact list controller. I'm going to delete it, and then I'll say agent to generate test coverage for this controller which is generated previously, assuming that we didn't have test coverage class. Now let's see what it is going to do. It started analyzing the controller to understand different scenarios. I've said you need to have positive, negative, and bulk test scenarios. It's still doing some sort of analysis. By this time it might have figured out that we have deleted that class, and we don't have any test class for this particular controller. Yeah, it started creating it. It's good. Metadata file for the controller, which is good. Now it's trying to execute this particular test class which is generated using Salesforce DXMCP and seeing whether it's failing or any sort of issues. It did see some sort of issues while it is deploying. Now it's trying to fix it by itself, which is great. Now let's see Once all error is gone, we'll try to review the class. It's trying to do some sort of optimizations again. If you really look at it, agent is not directly communicating to your org. It's using Salesforce AI orgs, right? So we will authenticate orgs using Salesforce CLI. That particular org, which is default org, which is assigned to this particular project, it's able to fetch that, and then it's actually executing the CLI commands to perform the task. So this is the CLI, right? Yeah. This is the arc which is connected to this particular project. Still doing some sort of fixes. I think it has found some errors. It's failing. It understands where it is failing and what need to be corrected. It did some fixes. Let's see how it goes. Now it's trying to validate again. Found something else. It's trying to fix again. Down for something more, and then it's trying to fix that as well. It did fix something, and now it's validating it now. Let's see. The target which I've given for the agent is 95% coverage. I think it's trying to figure out to match that by all different scenarios. Great. It took some time, but that's okay. So if you really look at it, so all the scenarios which I've mentioned in the prompt, it does make sure those are covered, like positive, negative, bulk, and all the scenarios, which is good. It took some time to fix it by itself, but that's okay. In one go, if it is able to understand everything what you said, and then it is trying to achieve those objectives, then I'd say perfect. Right, now let's go ahead and then see how it looks like on high level. Perfect. If you look at it, previously I mentioned I would have optimized it using a test setup. At least now it used it. Yeah, still I could see there are some optimizations that we can do, but yeah, at one go, at bare minimum, it did a pretty decent job, right? Again, if you wanted to modify, optimize it, you can always give an additional information to it to make those changes. Maybe something like this, and then add to Claude so that everything comes over here, and then you can just say what you want thinking about this. Maybe if you're using VS Code or Cursor, Windsurf, and other ADs, you have different shortcuts to add the set of lines. So the simplest thing is you can just copy paste there, right? And then you can optimize it. Perfect. This is how we can create a basic Salesforce Developer AI agent using Claude Code, which will help Salesforce developers to do the repetitive task and help them to achieve more productivity. If you want to see more agents, something like this, follow me for more insights.